I watch for the early reviews. I look for the faces. I look for the testers. I'm watching for your own PR people. I'm telling them, we tell them, like, be brutally honest with us. We need to know. We don't need yes men. We need objective critics that are like this. This is one of the things. We have a guy on the team, Alex Carroll, out of the UK, and he brought an amazing effort to this in the game design area, in a lot of areas. But initially he was the founder of sixaxis.com, the review site. And one of the reasons back when we were working on New and Tasty, I got to know him. I was like, we have to hire this guy. Is he analyze the game from a reviewer's perspective, not like your own bug testing or bug testing department or your own internal team, but he'd look at it and he'd go, look, if we don't fix this bug, we're still in this percentile Metacritic. If you don't fix this other bug, you're down 10 points. And it was a really interesting way that we could weigh what are we fixing and what are we not, right? Because at the end of the day, the industry remembers you by two things, right? Financial success, three things: financial success, Metacritic, right? Or you blew up, like some spectacular loss, and occasionally we see them, right? But it's so when you can get a guy like that and you can get your own. It's tough when they're wearing a design hat. You got to go, okay, now take off the design hat. Now put on your reviewer hat. And he was the highest, he was like the top review station for PlayStation while he was running that, and the network for PlayStation games. And so that was a different degree of analysis of where we're going to dedicate our time and energy, and I'm sure you guys have a much more sophisticated, probably, spreadsheet on what are we focusing on for primary attention to fixes, and then how are we weighing them down, and what are the musts, and then what are the can we live with, and there's usually some decision on that level. And internally it's just brutally hard to decide because you're way too close to the product. But it just goes to having that more objective view of, like, you might feel really passionate about this, but other people aren't going to. Like, there's a couple of things I have in the game right now, and I was like, I think people are going to notice this thing. I won't say what it is, but in noticing it, I think we could really get dinged, So we tried to. I'll say what it is. It had to do with aiming on curve pass when throwing, and so we had to try and we got into a bit of a sophisticated problem that kind of Yoshi was solving recently, where they were targeting as you were walking with a 2.5D character that could also target the background. It became problematic, and so when we're doing throwing, the alignment of paths kind of had to be correct. You just couldn't line off paths. I thought it was going to just bite us, so we tried to avoid it in design. No one hit it. Like, no one notices that thing, and there's a couple other things where I was like, are they going to have a real hard problem with this or with that? And all of a sudden, they just don't even seem to care. Like, it's not even an issue. I'm like, oh my God, massive release.